Tonight, in our coverage, U.S. President Joe Biden pushes an $8 billion arms deal with Israel as his term comes to an end. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. This is Muslim News Canada on Muslim Network TV. I am Ahmed Ramadan. Canada's political landscape is undergoing a significant shift following the resignation of Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. Trudeau's departure has sparked intense speculation about who will lead the Liberal Party into the next election. Former Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland has quickly emerged as a frontrunner. Her resignation last month has reignited leadership ambitions, with many members of Parliament rallying behind her. Mark Carney, the former governor of the Bank of Canada, is another prominent name in the mix. Carney has hinted at interest in the leadership, promising a strong economic agenda as a cornerstone of his platform. Minister Dominic LeBlanc, a longtime ally of Trudeau, is also expected to be a strong contender, with significant party support backing his potential bid. Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly and Defense Minister Anita Anand are both garnering attention as potential candidates, seen by many as rising stars within the party. Other potential candidates include François-Philippe Champagne, Jonathan Wilkinson, and former British Columbia Premier Christy Clark. There is also pressure from some Liberals for Karina Gould and former MP Frank Baylis to enter the race. Whoever takes the reins of the Liberal Party faces a formidable challenge, uniting a divided party and crafting a winning strategy to take on Conservative Party led by Pierre Poilievre in the next election. This leadership race will define the future of the Liberal Party as it prepares for one of the toughest political battles in recent memory. Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has unequivocally dismissed U.S. President-elect Donald Trump's recent suggestion of using economic force to merge Canada with the United States. In a strongly worded post on X, Trudeau stated, "There isn't a snowball's chance in hell that Canada would become part of the United States." He emphasized that workers and communities in both nations benefit from their partnership as each other's largest trading and security allies. The statement follows Trump's comments made during a speech in Palm Beach, Florida, where he floated the idea of merging the two countries. Trump argued that such a move would strengthen national security and eliminate what he described as an artificially drawn line between them. He also argues that the U.S. essentially protects Canada. Trump acknowledges he has no legal authority to annex Canada, but Trump criticized the current economic relationship with the northern neighbor, singling out imports like automotive products, lumber, and dairy as areas of concern. However, trade experts have pointed out the ongoing tension revolves around American demands to export more dairy to Canada, not the reverse. Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre dismissed the idea, posting on X, "Canada will never be the 51st state, period." New Democratic leader Jagmeet Singh also weighed in, warning Trump in a post on X, "Your attacks will hurt jobs on both sides of the border. You come for Canadian jobs, Americans will pay the price." In related news, Ontario Premier Doug Ford has responded to Donald Trump's jokes about Canada being part of the United States. Ford suggests Canada could buy Alaska, Minneapolis, and Minnesota instead. Trump, who has mocked Canada for weeks, referred to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau as governor and threatened a 25% tariff on Canadian goods unless Canada takes stronger action to stop drugs and migrants at the border. While dismissing the annexation idea as unrealistic, Ford noted that Trump likes to joke, but firmly stated that such a move will never happen. He urged Trudeau to remain focused on fighting proposed tariffs before stepping down, calling for a strong federal plan and promising retaliation if the tariffs proceed. The Biden administration has proposed an $8 billion arms deal with Israel as its war on Gaza rages. The package includes fighter jet munitions, artillery shells, and air defense equipment. Congress has been informally notified of the deal. According to the State Department, the arms package will help Israel defend itself against threats, including those from Iran. The U.S. provides $3.8 billion annually to Israel and is its largest arms supplier. Critics argue the proposed deal violates human rights laws, citing civilian casualties in Gaza. Human rights groups and lawmakers urge halting arms transfers. The U.S. had halted arms shipment to Israel for its war crimes in Rafah city in May last year. But then 2 months later, he allowed the delivery of 500-pound bombs to Israel. The flow of other military equipment to Israel also continued. These include $20 billion fighter jets and other military supplies that were approved by the State Department in August. Right now, Biden has resumed military aid to Israel, fueling debate on the role of the U.S. in the conflict. The U.S. has transferred 11 Yemeni detainees from Guantanamo Bay to Oman. The detainees had been held for more than 2 decades without charges. Sharqawi al-Hajj is among the released detainees who endured years of hunger strikes and detention. Their release is part of efforts to shut down the controversial facility, which once held nearly 800 detainees. As of now, only 15 prisoners now remain in Guantanamo, including 6 uncharged detainees. Rights groups have long criticized the prison as a symbol of human rights abuses. Amnesty International calls the prison a glaring stain on the U.S. record. Outgoing President Joe Biden has promised to close Guantanamo. However, he is set to leave office with the facility still operational. The U.S. is working with countries willing to accept uncharged detainees. In recent weeks, other detainees, including nationals from Tunisia and Malaysia, have also been released. Guantanamo's legacy remains a contentious issue globally. Israeli airstrikes since dawn have killed at least 46 Palestinians across Gaza. 31 of these deaths have been reported in the north. Airstrikes have devastated Gaza City, targeting civilians and infrastructure. 5 people have been killed near an amusement park, and telecommunications workers have been injured while repairing internet lines. Medical sources describe the situation as dire, with hospitals critically short on fuel, leaving healthcare services barely operational. Hospitals in Gaza are shutting down non-essential services due to fuel shortages. Hamas accuses Israel of deliberately worsening Gaza's healthcare crisis. The group is calling on the World Health Organization and Red Cross to intervene urgently to save lives. World Health Organization Chief Tedros Ghebreyesus has confirmed the evacuation of 15 patients from Gaza to Jordan and the U.S. However, more than 12,000 civilians still need urgent treatment abroad. Israeli raids in the occupied West Bank have intensified over the past 15 months, destroying roads and infrastructure. Palestine Red Crescent reports a drone strike today in Tamun has killed 3 Palestinians, including 2 children. U.S. President-elect Donald Trump has demanded Hamas release Israeli captives before inauguration, warning of severe consequences otherwise. Lebanese Prime Minister Najib Mikati has informed sponsors of the Israeli Hezbollah truce about continued Israeli violations. The truce requires Israeli forces to leave Lebanon by January 26th. However, reports suggest they may stay longer. The foreign ministers of France and Germany have met with Syria's new leaders in Damascus. This marks the first high-level European visit since Bashar al-Assad's fall. Germany's Annalena Baerbock and France's Jean-Noël Barrot held talks this past Friday with Ahmed al-Sharaa, leader of Hayat al-Tahrir al-Sham. They urged inclusive governance, protection of minorities, and a roadmap for elections by 2028. Baerbock says Europe would support Syria but will not fund Islamist structures. She is calling for accountability for past atrocities and warning against religious influence in governance. Barrot has advocated cooperation with Kurdish allies and highlighted the importance of regional stability. The ministers also visited Sidnaya prison, a site of human rights abuses under Assad's rule. European officials demand the new government renounce vengeance and radicalism while ensuring a peaceful transition. Ontario has announced 29 appointees to 2024 Order of Ontario, including Winston Qasim and Walid Suleiman. The order is the province's highest civilian honor. The investiture ceremony will take place in Toronto. The date has not yet been announced. Qasim has spent over 40 years advancing humanitarian causes across 25 countries. He has founded key organizations like Canada-Guyana Chamber of Commerce. Suleiman is a leading lawyer and philanthropist. He chairs Norton Rose Fulbright Canada and has been recognized by the United Nations for his contributions. Among the notable recipients are Zanana Akandi, the first African-Canadian woman cabinet minister in Ontario, Marilyn Dennis, a pioneer in Canadian broadcasting, and Jeremy Freeman, a world-renowned surgical oncologist. The list also includes trailblazers in public service, education, and the arts. The National Council of Canadian Muslims has praised the appointments of Qasim and Suleiman. Edith Dumont, the Lieutenant Governor of Ontario, has expressed pride in celebrating the diverse achievements of Ontarians. Since 1986, over 900 individuals have been honored with the Order of Ontario for their extraordinary contributions to the province. That's all from our Toronto studios. Thank you for watching Muslim News Canada. We are a community channel dedicated to bringing you stories you can trust. Please like, share, and subscribe to our content. You can also comment to let us know what you think of our coverage. You can donate now by visiting muslimnetworktv/donate. For more content, keep watching Muslim Network TV.